Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and push this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect pushing this word across the four corners of the earth and to the sincere Aquathium that are listening and learning in silence in these last days. It's your brother Yedai from the DC Church in Lord's Will. This video will be edifying, short, and straight to the point. And this is a lamb back off of my previous video, just going into the fact of having mental fortitude and endurance as we embrace the trials and tribulations that's going to come in this walk. When you have strong mental fortitude, you have good mental clarity. That when these trials come, you're not making haste on trying to react to certain things. You're able to take a step back and sit still and actually reflect on certain precepts that you've learned, right? It's that way you're able to actually use the wisdom from the scriptures to be able to apply to your life. Now, here is a prayer that I came up with in terms of increasing my faith, but also increasing my endurance as well. And when you have that increase in faith, all the qualities that comes with the fruits of the spirit, you ask for those things as well. All right. Now you can also have a prayer where you're asking for it individually, learning the words. But here, there's a long, I would say, a long tree that is connected with faith and endurance as well. And as you can see, I got two precepts at the bottom. But what I want to do, because I've been in the AMP a lot lately, because it's been hitting, especially when it comes down to explaining it in more detail, because it's a bit wordy. When you read it in the KJV, you get it more straight to the point. But I'm going to read this, get the couple precepts that I got, and I'm going to go back and read this again, just for edification's sake. So, Lord's willing, brothers can use this prayer. All right. But again, as we always start, we call on the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash, Babakashah, 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 Hawasap, which is increase, Lana Wa, unto us. The Wa is talking about us because I'm not talking about just for me, but for the body. All right. I'm a one. Faith, Wa, and Yakal is the word for endure. I believe you can use the word endurance for it as well, brothers. Babakasha, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. That way I can edit it, remake the video if need be. But I believe the word for endure is Yakal. But for getting into the prayer, it's endurance. All right. So again, I'm gonna read it all together. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Babakasha, 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 Hawasap, Lanawa, Amawan, Wa Yakal. All right. So increase unto us faith and endurance. And matter of fact, you can even add to something like Laquataza, meaning to the end. So you could be able to endure into the end, you know, maybe doing too much at this point, but it's just certain things you can be able to add into the prayers as well. Because that's what we're called to do, to be able to endure into the end. Not halfway, not three quarters of the way through, all the way through. That's the only way you're gonna receive that crown. All right, but I'm gonna start here in Philippians 4, get straight to the point in 13. And again, this is the AMP. All right. Now, just to get it in context, when you read it in the KJV, it's pretty much straight to the point. Verse 13 says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me. All right. And it goes back to First Corinthians 10 and 13, through all the things that he's gonna tempt you with, he always provides an escape. And then again, you understand that through all that, it's the Lord that controls all these things. And with him, there's nothing that you can't do. All right. And that's including the trials and tribulations you thought you couldn't get through. All right, so Philippians 4 and 13 in the AMP, it says, I can do all things which he has called me to do. All right, so when it comes to all things, it's not talking about just doing things in the world. Granted, we living in this body, living in the flesh, you're going to do certain things in the world, but you should more so be operating out of the spirit. So I like the fact that it's putting emphasis on what the Lord has called you to do. Just like in Galatians 6 and 9, where it talks about not growing weary in well doing. Well, not growing weary in well doing. What is that well doing? We're doing good for the Lord. Okay. So I can do all things which he has called me to do through him who strengthens and empowers me to fulfill his purpose. So when it says to fulfill his purpose, I am self-sufficient, am Hamashiach's sufficiency. All right. We'll lay our burdens on him. All right. I am ready for anything and equal to anything through him who infuses me with inner strength and confident peace. Because all the trials and tribulations that comes externally is going to cause internal conflict. But when we think back upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, when we think back upon these scriptures and these precepts, this is what's going to comfort. This is what's going to guide us, you know. And when you read things like this and you have a being like this on your side, it does nothing but boost your faith. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get to Hebrews 10 and read verses 35 and 36. I believe I had. Yep. And it says, do not therefore fling away your fearless confidence, for it has a glorious and great reward. For you have need of patient endurance to bear up under difficult circumstances without compromising. And that's an important part to follow because this devil is going to come down for great wrath. Part of the hour in temptation is the fact that when it comes to try everyone in the world, the system is set up to a point where you can't interact with the world. You can't buy, you can't sell, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't do all the necessary things that's needed for living. All right. Even under those circumstances, you don't want to be able to compromise. That's how much you want to trust the Lord because the Lord knows these things are going to be taken away from you. So if he knows these things, he's also going to provide relief for knowing these things are taken away from you. That's what First Corinthians 10 and 13 just told me, right? So if we're reading those things and you actually believe in these things, when you think on these precepts, it doesn't matter what hardship you're going through. I'm going to uphold my integrity because the Lord told me that he's not going to put me through anything I couldn't handle. And anything that I am put through, no matter how troubled I feel, he finds an escape, he finds relief for me. All I got to do is trust in his plan and keep moving forward, regardless of how hard I think things are going to go. And when you have that patient endurance, like it talks about in verse 36 here, now you're able to bear the difficult circumstances. Because you're grounded, you're not taken away by the storms. Keep in mind that not every storm is causing to cause damage. Sometimes some storms come in the way to clear your path. When you're grounded and everyone else is not, everything else is not, all the things that were in your way is now gone. And you're grounded and now it's out the way, you can continue forward. The Lord also provides in ways like that too. Sometimes that escape is taking something else out your life that you didn't need that was making it unbearable or just making it a bit more difficult in his walk. All right. So I'm gonna read it again. Actually, I'm gonna start from 35 again. It says, do not therefore, because I got a little long-winded, but it says, do not therefore fling away your fearless confidence, for it has a glorious and great reward. For you have need of patient endurance to bear up under difficult circumstances without compromising, so that when you have carried out the will of the Most High, you may receive and enjoy to the full what is promised. All right. So we have to finish first. Okay. When it comes to fulfilling his will, that means it has to be fulfilled. That means it has to be done. No more prophecies coming to pass. Okay. But that's why it's important that we have endurance to be able to get to the end. Because sometimes, yes, the intensity of what you're going to go through is going to happen, but we're also made stronger. But don't just look at the intensity, look at the consistency of what's going on. Can you keep saying no to the same situation over and over again? And think about, okay, why these same situations keep coming to me? Because maybe it could potentially break you. You have to recognize these things so you can combat it. Don't sleep on anything that comes to take you off your path in this truth because it's not going to be something obvious. It's always going to be the small, gradual things. And the next thing you know, dang, how the fuck did I fall off? How did I fall out? Because you weren't watchful, you weren't paying attention, you weren't being circumspect. 360 degrees, you know? You want to be defended in all areas. For those who watch anime, Neji's 360-degree rotation. Forget that one blind spot because the Lord don't have any blind spots. You're protected. This has to be that 360-degree rotation. Your precepts. Matter of fact, I didn't pull it out last time, but I did bring it up. But just like I was able to call it out, First Corinthians 10 and 13, and let him know, let it be known that, no matter what trials come my way, the Lord provides for me. This is an example of that. I'm gonna see it in what it says in the AMP. Isaiah 33 and 6 says, and he will be security and stability of your times. Who's that he is talking about? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. A treasure of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is your treasure. I actually like the KJV better. And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay? You fear the Lord, which is a gift. You have faith in the Lord, which is a gift. Now, with those things comes wisdom and knowledge. Now your conduct is set aright. And now, when that's set, you can endure. But also, you have mental clarity to be able to see all the things to help you endure. All right? You're not perplexed. You're not confused. You're stabilized. Now, I'm going to go back and read the scripture one more time with a prayer one more time, and I'm going to close out. And again, it's about increasing faith and endurance. But again, remember that subcategory that these things follow, well, that follows after these things. But it goes Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Babakashah, 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 Hawasap, which is increased, Lanawa, unto us, Amawan, faith, Wa, and Yakal, endurance. So Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Babakashah, 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 Hawasap, Lanawa, Amawan, Wa Yakal. All right. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Babakashah, 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 increase it into his faith and endurance. But hopefully that was edifying. And again, brothers can use this and you were edified. But again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and push this word in truth and sincerity. Till next one, Shalom.